In a modern winery, the sound of shearing metal echoes. A large grape press is broken, leaking dark, thick oil over a harvest that should have been perfect. This is the moment a legacy died. The moment a year's worth of work turned to poison. Beside the machine, young Jake stands paralyzed in shock, while his older brother, Caleb, falls to his knees, devastated. But it didn't start with this disaster. It started 12 hours earlier, with a single choice. 12 hours earlier, the California sun shines over Oak Creek Vineyards. Oak Creek Vineyards wasn't just a business, it was a birthright. In the field, Caleb, the older brother, was the artist. He lived in the sun, coaxing magic from the soil. His domain was the vine. In the winery, his brother Jake, the younger one, was the engineer. His job was to take Caleb's magic and turn it into liquid gold. His domain was the machine. Their father, a man of calloused hands and a quiet smile, had taught them both. He'd always say, "Wine is a story. It begins with the soul of the sun and soil, but it's told with the precision of steel and glass." Caleb, the romantic, had heard the part about the soul. Jake, the pragmatist, had heard the part about the steel. In the years since their father's passing, each brother had come to believe his part was the most important chapter, forgetting that a story needs all its chapters to be complete. The Founders' Reserve was their one attempt each year to truly honor both sides of his philosophy. And today was the most important day of the year, the harvest for the Founders' Reserve, the wine dedicated to their late father. But a storm was coming, a once-in-a-decade supercell set to hit the valley by nightfall. They had one day to get the perfect harvest in. The clock was ticking. Jake stops what he's doing as he hears the weather forecast. His expression tenses as he notices a crucial part of the press seems misaligned. In any great story, there's a turning point, a single moment where everything could go right or horribly wrong. Pride was about to collide with a plea for help, and this is the moment that sealed their fate. Jake leaves the winery and walks out into the vineyard to find his brother.
"Caleb, we have a problem."
"No problems today, little brother. Only solutions. Look at this fruit. It's perfect."
"I'm not kidding. The main hydraulic valve on the press is seizing. I can't align it and tighten the seal by myself. If I force it, it could rupture. I need you. Give me 1 hour of your time. We fix it together, and the Founders' Reserve is safe before the storm."
"An hour? Jake, look around. This is the soul of our wine. This is what Dad taught us. My place is here. I can't stop the heart of the operation for a grease job in the garage. You're the mechanic, Jake. You always figure it out. Just figure it out. Don't drop the ball on your end, okay?"
Caleb's words hit Jake hard. Without saying another word, he turns, his jaw clenched in a mixture of hurt and silent fury. He marches back to the winery alone. As Jake wrestled with the cold, unyielding metal, his brother's words echoed in the cavernous silence. Just a mechanic. The phrase stung more than he'd ever admit. It wasn't just a dismissal of his work. It felt like a dismissal of his place in their family's legacy. For a moment, a wave of hot frustration washed over him, tempting him to just walk away. But it was followed by a surge of stubborn, defiant pride. "I'll show him," he thought, his jaw set. "I don't need his help." He put all of his strength and focus into one final, desperate turn of the wrench, a turn driven as much by emotion as by engineering. 5 words loaded with the weight of a lifetime of expectations. Jake wasn't just hurt, he was challenged, and he was determined to prove he didn't need anyone. Inside the winery, he struggles with the faulty part. He uses his entire body to try to align the valve while tightening a bolt with a wrench. His muscles tremble. The wrench slips once. He tries again, and with a final grunt, the bolt seems firm. Exhausted, he steps back, believing he has conquered the machine. He thought he could do it alone. He thought he could carry the weight himself. But some burdens are not meant to be shouldered by one person. The first load of the most valuable grapes arrives.
Let's make Dad proud.
At Caleb's request, Jake turns on the machine. The machine starts. The sound is normal at first, a low hum. The first juice begins to flow, but then the hum turns into a creak. The creak becomes a high-pitched metallic whine. With a deafening bang, the bolt Jake struggled with shears under the immense pressure. The hydraulic line whips through the air and ruptures, spraying dark industrial oil all over the pristine grapes, ruining everything in seconds. The machine groans to a halt.
What did you do?
I did what you told me to. I figured it out alone.
Jake's reply, loaded with exhaustion and resentment, makes Caleb finally understand. The fault wasn't mechanical, it was his own refusal to help. The horror of this realization takes over his face. Caleb, the man of the sun, was now trapped in the dark. The artist was forced to become a mechanic. The harvest is lost. Outside, the storm they so feared finally breaks. Inside the winery, under a single lamp, the two brothers work in silence. The only sounds were the clinking of tools and the storm raging outside, washing the world clean. At one point, a heavy wrench slipped from Jake's greasy, trembling fingers. Before it could crash to the floor, Caleb's hand, equally dirty, darted out and caught it. Their eyes met for a brief second across the ruined machine. No words were spoken, and no apologies were offered. But in that shared, reflexive action, something shifted. It wasn't forgiveness, not yet, but it was an acknowledgement, a silent admission that whatever the cost, they were in this disaster together. He had refused to share the small, clean burden of 1 hour of help, and now he was forced to carry the crushing, earthy weight of a lost legacy. The weight of, if only. How many times have we seen a friend or a coworker struggling and thought, that's their problem, not mine? How often has our own pride, our belief that our work is more important, stopped us from offering a hand? In the middle of the silent work, a tear rolls down Caleb's face, mixing with the grease and regret. For the first time, he looks at his brother and sees not just the mechanic, but his equal. The heaviest burdens in life are not made of steel or stone. They are made of regret. This is a story about grapes and machines, but it's also about all of us. Don't wait until the storm hits to realize you should have helped hold the umbrella.
Our past shapes us, but it doesn't have to define our future. For more stories that inspire you to live a life with fewer regrets, subscribe to the channel and join our community.